Hello, smart people on the other side of the world. This is me, Asis, and today I'm going to show you how to create a low poly character in Blender. So let's get started. First, I'm going to the front view by pressing N, then select this box and hide this. So for this tutorial, I'm going to use a default add-on called Rigify. You can go to Edit, Preferences, then search for Rigify. And I know it's a rigging tool, but let's see how we can use this to create a low poly character in Blender. So just check this box here and we will be good to go. Now press Shift A, then select Armature, go to Basic Human Metallic. And here you go, you have your low poly character. Just kidding guys. So let me do one thing. So what I'm going to do this is use this character or use this armature to create a basic character, and this will help us to know the proportions of the character. So if you don't understand what I mean, let me show you what I mean. Just press Alt H to bring this default cube back to life. And now what I'm going to do is select this, scale this down, then press Z and then Z to move it along the Z axis. And now what I'm going to do is press tab to go into the edit mode, control R to insert edge loop, and then insert it right in the middle and go to vertex. And what I'm going to do is press Alt Z to go into the X-ray mode, or you can simply toggle here for X-ray mode. And now I'm going to select this vertex, X to delete this vertex. Now select all this, or you can just go into object mode, go to modifier, add modifier and add a mirror modifier to it. Make sure the clipping is checked. So now what happens if I apply the mirror modifier, I can select this vertex on the right side and it will affect the left side also. So we don't have to work for on the left side. So what I mean is if you want to create a right hand, you will create a left hand automatically. And simply with the right leg, if you create the right leg, left leg will be created automatically. So that's the benefit of the mirror modifier. So I'm going to select this vertex Z, then Z to move it along this hip section, and then select all this. I'm using the box select. You can click here and you can just select box, and then you can select it by dragging all the vertex by dragging. So I am in the tweak. Let me go to the box select and select this. Go to Z, then Z to move it along the Z axis. Now we have created this. Now Control R to insert edge loop and your scroll mouse button to increase these edge loops. So I'm going to insert 4 edge loops here, which will be fine. And if you don't have the scroll mouse button or using a laptop, you can just click here and you can increase the edge loops from here. So right now I will just use the 4 edge loops and go to the edge select mode, select this whole edge. I am using Alt. You can double click if you are using the emulate mouse button, and then Z and move it along the Z direction, and Z on your keyboard to move it along the Z direction. And make sure you are in the edge select mode. Select this edge here. So as you can see, we have the rightmost edge and the bottommost edge here, and go to the front view, go to front view, then Z and then Z, X, Z and then X to move it along the X direction. So maybe something like this. And now we have a nice geometry, and right now it's looking too fat. So what I'm going to do is scale it by pressing S, then Y to scale it along the Y axis, and this should be fine for this character. And maybe scale it a little bit in the X axis, S and then X to scale it along the X axis. So this should be fine. You can check it along the front view or the side views or the top views to make sure your proportion match correctly. And now what I'm going to do is select this, press tab to go into edit mode and select this face, and now Alt Z, so we can go out of X-ray mode and select this bottom face. Make sure when you are in the X-ray mode you can select other faces indirectly, so make sure you press Alt Z and select the correct face. Now go to the front view, Alt Z to see your armature, go to front view and then select this face and extrude by pressing E on your keyboard. Now what it's doing is it's extruding it along the Z axis, which I don't want. So I will simply press Z on my keyboard to remove this snapping, automatic snapping which Blender does. So extrude it along the Z axis, and right now it's a slight angle. So what I'm going to do is press R and rotate it slightly. Now it's good. Just scale it down by pressing S and scale it down. And what I'm going to do is extrude it once again and then scale it a little bit up, and maybe I can go to vertex select mode and select all this vertex and move it slightly here. Okay. Now select all this vertex. You can just make sure the back vertex are also selected. Go to the front view, then just E to extrude it down, extrude it till the feet. So just Z and then move it here along the x-axis, and maybe we need to scale it down a bit, and then maybe we can rotate it a bit, or you can RZ0. Okay, sorry, scale Z0 to make it straight. So scale it bit down. So we have created the character. So let's go to the side view by pressing 3, and you can insert a edge loop here. So and now just move it down. Okay, it's good. Now we need to go to the face select this front face, make sure you selected the front face, go to the side view and then extrude it here and then again extrude it up till here. So these are not the legs, maybe we can use them as shoes. So this is basically a very low poly character. You can just go to edge select mode, you can select this edge, then Z and then Z to move it along the Z direction, and then this edge, select this edge and then Z and then Z to move it along the Z direction. Maybe something like that will be good. So now we have to create arm for this character. So to create arm, you can just go to edit mode, alt Z to go out of x-ray mode, select this face, go to face select mode, select this face, go to the front view, then extrude a little bit, alt Z to go to x-ray mode and see what's going on. And now rotate it a bit, then E to extrude and Z to release this snapping and extrude it. Now we need to scale it down a little bit and then rotate it slightly. Now extrude it. You can again press Z to release the snapping and extrude it like this, and then scale it down, and you can extrude it here, scale it a little bit up like this will be good. Then again extrude it, maybe move it a slightly bit here and then scale it down, or maybe you can press Ctrl R to insert the edge loop and scale it up to create it a nice hand, to give it a nice hand. So I think now our head and neck are left. So for our head and neck, we will go to this perspective mode, go to tab, now select the face, top face. So in X-ray mode, this problem comes when you select the top face. Now it's selecting the back face. So I press Alt Z to go out of X-ray mode. Now select this face. Now press I to insert. So right now it's not insetting like what I want. So what I will do is press B on your keyboard to make sure this is on the boundary and just extrude it down. Okay, sorry, scale it down or insert it down. You can do it like this, and now you can just go to the front view, Alt Z to go into X-ray mode, extrude it along the Z direction like this, and maybe you can scale it down like this. And this is our neck for our character, and now we have to create head for our character. So just press E to extrude. So now S to scale, again E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale. Now we have created, for right now, I think the neck is a bit too long for our character, so I will go to vertex select mode, select all this vertex Z and then Z to move it along this Z direction, and yeah, it's okay. Maybe we can select this vertex Z and then Z to make this face more rounded. Z, then it's okay. Not moving that vertex. So this is our character. Maybe we can select this vertex Z and then Y and then select this Z and then Y. Okay, sorry for that, something went wrong. Z and then Y to move it along the Y direction to make it a bit more round. So I think this is it. We have created a low poly character. So what you can do now is go into object mode, select this character, and you can then select this armature. Then press Ctrl P on your keyboard and now go to the armature deform with automatic weights. Now click this with automatic weights. And now you can select this armature, not this character but the armature. Okay, the armature is selected. You can go to object mode, not in the pose mode. So you can also use keyboard shortcut, which I usually use is Control Tab to go into object mode, then Control Tab to go into the pose mode. So now if I select the armature and press R to rotate it, see you can rotate it freely. And now if I press X, and you can see now it will move it or rotate it along the x-axis. Simply you can similarly you can do it with the legs. If I select this leg and press R then X, and you can rotate it along the x-axis. So maybe you want to create a kick animation, sorry for that, kick animation, and you can kick it like this. So that's it for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.